All right, welcome to the Orange County Commuter channel, and I hope I have everything with me. So obviously we got a little bit of rain last night, so we'll see how this ride goes. I have my rain gear strapped to the back of my bike. I would typically put it on before I leave, but we're gonna ride at risk here. So the first, so we're gonna be commuting from the city of Orange to Irvine, in case you're new to the channel. And this is a pretty standard route, so hopefully you guys aren't burned out on the Santiago Creek Trail, but this is the most efficient way for me to go sometimes. It's about 6:45 maybe. And I'm gonna take a regular route through Santa Ana because first off, this is my favorite route, and I figure like how we're breaking the monotony of always being on this trail and going through Hart Park and Santiago Park and then riding through downtown Santa Ana to get to work is that the difference is it just rained. So everything looks beautiful after the rain. Secondly, going through downtown Santa Ana when there's a potential chance for more rain, even on this trail, I have more opportunities to stop somewhere to and take cover while I'm putting my rain gear on. So I can go stop under these underpasses with the homeless people, maybe have a beer with them while I'm putting my rain gear on. And then in downtown, obviously there's a bunch of storefronts we can take shelter in to put our rain gear on. I just got hit in the eyeball. That really sucks. Oh man, that hurts. Whatever hit my eyes was big, and my eyelash is trapped at like a Venus flytrap, but part of it is still in my eyeball. All right, I'll just have to deal with it. So my eyes will start watering on this ride, and we'll be able to this is kind of steep. I rode on this the other day. It's kind of steep to get up here. Let's see, this looks like a good route right here. There's a little trail right here. Interesting. I wonder if that gate is unlocked. You can ride up along that ridge. If that gate was unlocked, maybe there's a little access point right there. There is. Interesting. Let's turn on my super light. So we're going under the 55 freeway. So this is not what I expected this morning. I expected from like what I looked at in the weather report. I'm sure this is just a short cessation of the rain that we're getting. But I expected a whole lot of rain. But I also left a lot. I woke up at 5, but I had to go get gas, put gas in the car for my wife and go by the store before I got ready. So it took me a long time. That's another reason why I didn't put rain gear on, because it took me so long. Right here, I ride on this sometimes, but this path, I can drop down right here and you can see where that person's walking way over there. I will ride it again. If you go around this way, it's pretty cool. But I have to lift my bike over this fence to get it out, which doesn't look like it's that big of a deal, but lifting 80 pounds over this fence while you're on the other side is a little challenging. And with my shoulder jacked up and my back being weird. So you go all the way along here. I don't know why they don't just have an opening at the end here. Okay, we're starting to get some sprinkles. Yeah, right here. So all my bike is taped up in the areas like in the joint where my battery goes, because it's a folding bike. So that's all taped up and blocked off. All the stuff in my backpack is also bagged, so I bag everything. So we'd have to just stop. Have to put I would have to stop and put the rain gear on. So it's like a set of, like the pants have straps that go around the shoulders, and it goes all the way up to my chest, and then I put the coat on. Then I also brought plastic bags to put over my shoes, because that's the one thing. I don't mind getting wet, but having wet feet kind of sucks. We'll see. We'll see. We're gonna have to go fast though, so. I didn't look at the radar map. Sometimes I'll do that and you can see like which way the clouds are moving, and you can see like holes, little holes where it gives you an idea how much time you have and which way might be a little more suitable. I've had it work before. I had a day where it was pouring down rain and I was at work and I was waiting for the rain to calm down, and I looked and I saw that the direction that the clouds were moving, and there was like a big hole, and I was like, okay, as soon as this goes over, I'll take off, you know. Whereas if I didn't do that and look at it, I would have just left in the rain and got wet unnecessarily. But I just waited for 10 minutes and took off. Interesting thing about the homeless dogs, like they don't trip out on people. They're so used to being around people and being outside. Like when you ride by them, they don't like act like they're gonna come get you at all. It was pouring down rain and we had a bunch of puddles here, mud. This would be pretty fun. I probably wouldn't do it, but if I had a couple of e-bikes and I have to worry about ruining this one, it'd be pretty fun to go super fast through here, hit all the puddles and go through the mud really fast. A little motocross. Dry your car. Makes sense. The bike doesn't have quite as much power. I can still go max speed, but it just doesn't have that torque right now today like it has been. But I didn't plug it in to charge it until probably 11 o'clock, 10:30 or 11. 10:30. Go full speed and see what we can get. I don't think we can get past 26 miles an hour right now, which sucks. Let's see. For me, like I always say, it's not the top speed, it's the acceleration saw this guy yesterday on my way home from work. I've been seeing this guy for the last year. Look at that seat. It's crazy. This guy's got a crazy setup. So that bike, that scooter says GT08. I want to look up what type of scooter that is. I don't see any spots on my lens right now. It's a little hard to tell. Alright, let's get some sidewalk perspective here on the other side. So I'm always on this section, but if we just go over to this side, we go on the sidewalk, I feel like we're on a totally different street. There is actually an alley right here that we could go down, but the street looks kind of cool. Go kind of explore back here. This is all dead end back in here. Wow, you got this whole lot right here that's blocked off. With cars parked back here. We got that old house. I wonder why this is closed out. See if any of this stuff goes through, if there's any alleys or anything. Look at this, is interesting. Looks like an old hotel. People looking out the window at me. It's the cops. The guy's an undercover cop, bro. I'm trying to get back to my old ways. Wow, there's an alley right here. Let's see where that comes out at. I know we're going in the wrong direction, but there might have been a cool spot for us to cut through. So in case anybody's ever chasing us, we'll have a little spot to, oh yeah, it's that spot. So we could have done that. We could have done, looks like it might be an old folks home. So we could have cut through there. So we could have cut through that archway, came out this alley. So that's good to know for the next time. Now we're really mapping these routes so we can find all the cool little secret routes in case we're ever getting chased. Be able to escape. Some drainage ditches. Beautiful Volkswagen just sitting there. So sad. coming up to 17th Street. I don't know if this is considered part of Logan or the Lopers. Maybe if any of you guys watch the channel, let me know. Is this Lopers or Logan? I think this is Lopers, actually. Definitely this side is. Hit this alley. Pretty nice couch to kick it on. Let's go down this alley, but I want to keep kind of doing what we've been doing since it's not raining. This alley, is this alley a dead end? I can't remember. I think this is that dead end alley. Maybe we can exit on the right. Wow, look at that Santa Claus. That's cool. And a missing pet. Poor kitty cat. Cat's probably super happy. We have a cat in my neighborhood that we call JoJo. So there was a couple that lived across the street. They had 2 kids, young kids, and then they ended up having a baby, another baby, and they had this cat named JoJo, or we don't know that the cat's name was JoJo. That's what we call the cat, is JoJo. But this black, beautiful black cat. It had a nice collar. It was super super clean, and we went down that alley last week, or maybe it was this week. Let's go down this street. And so beautiful cat, it was well taken care of, but it started coming outside with the family when, you know, they were outside with the kids, and then, you know, they probably then the cat just started staying outside more. And then pretty soon it's just outside all the time. And then we've always had like this red alley cat that kicks it in our backyard, because my backyard, I don't really take care of it very well, so it's all overgrown. So then it's next thing we know, so we named it JoJo. My kids named it JoJo. And it actually would come to our house and we'd give it food and pet it and stuff. And it kind of just started becoming the neighborhood cat. And then it started fighting with the red cat. So on our front porch or in our backyard, we started seeing it getting into fights. And then pretty soon, it started looking a little more mangy. It didn't have its collar anymore with the little bells. Those were gone. And we just watched it progress into a total street cat. And the family moved. Like, they just abandoned it, basically. Somewhere in between its descent, they moved and just left the cat behind. But it's pretty beat down now. But it's healthy, and everybody in the neighborhood knows, so everybody feeds it. So it always has food. It looks good. It just has a lot of battle wounds. One of its ears is like torn off. And it'll still come up to your house, but it won't let you pet it anymore. Good old JoJo. So we're crossing Civic Center Drive right now. This does not look like it has an exit, but maybe on the right, or maybe not. Nothing worse than hitting a dead end. Oh, but we cannot escape. Let's check the time. Let's see where we're at. $7:04. Not too bad. I love doors. It's a pretty grand entryway. Man, this church is pretty amazing. It's probably the original stained glass. I already looked at what year this was, but I forgot what it is. 1930? So this is 1947. Huh. I thought it was older. Pretty nice though. We got the cameras all over the palm trees, but yeah, what a beautiful church. Santa Ana PD rolling up on me. Oh my gosh, that looks like the cat from the missing poster right there. Wow. Yeah, this cat, it's eating this kitty food right here. It looks just like the cat that was on the poster. Don't worry, I'm not gonna mess with you. cool mural back here. Love that mural. It's a nice one. Let's see. Morning. So we haven't done a nice ride down 4th Street in a while. I love the way this looks. This whole, like all the way down to the end, the way this looks is just so, I love it. I used to make it a point to take this street at least once a week, but I stopped doing it. Maybe not once a week, but often. Why are you stopping on a green light, person? So we got a new restaurant right here called Tacos Los Cholos. How long has this ride been? 33 minutes. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun. Beautiful. This could be a thumbnail right here, huh? Yeah, this is getting annoying. Oh, we got somebody's having a nervous breakdown over there. El Vaquero. So tonight, this whole area will be completely party down. Cops on every street. People on every street. Cafecito. I can barbecue, Korean barbecue. Sorry, I'm sick still, obviously. There's no alley right here, so we're gonna cut back to this other block and take the alley. Look at these. There is an alley behind these buildings, but you can't get access to it. It's a dead end. So if you go down this alley, So if you're ever down here and you're running from somebody, don't go down this alley because you're not going to make it out. This one. It's a dead end. This guy. All right. We're going to need to go faster. I don't know if I feel like dealing with traffic on Main Street. I guess we could cut over to Broadway. It's pretty fast. Yeah, let's start. We'll make our way over to Broadway, I guess. Dude's foot is just rot, like totally rotting. He's got like a cloth around it and it's like soaked on the bottom and just like dripping like ooze. Flesh-eating disease. Pretty rough. Pretty rough. Oh, we're starting to get rain. Alright, we need to go. This is Sycamore, which is another highly traveled street by the Orange County Commuter. This way, we gotta get to that light. Oh man. Oh, my heart just dropped, y'all. Oh, that feeling. So there's probably more than likely a grandparent dropping a very young child off to school. I can remember that empty feeling when I don't remember much from like my kindergarten age, but I do remember that feeling. And then I also used to get dropped off, I used to get dropped off in a lot of places when I was little. And I think there was probably trauma in my life at that time that I just don't remember. But my parents worked, and so I would get dropped off, at random people's house, like not friends, like babysitters. Back then, there's people that were babysitters, and you call them up and meet them, and then okay, yeah, you can babysit our kid, and then they just drop you off at these people's houses. But it's hard to explain, but when I think about it, in my chest, below my neck, see, just right in my upper chest, right below my neck, I get this horrible feeling, and then in my stomach at the same time, just this deep sadness, and not necessarily fear. It's not as sharp as fear. It's softer than fear. This loneliness, it's crazy. But when I see stuff like that, there was a guy just hugging probably his granddaughter, right? I couldn't tell if she was upset because I couldn't see her face, but I'm assuming she was, and he was comforting her. So that feeling, I project onto her, and it makes me feel that. It reminds me of how I used to feel. So when we dropped off on my kids, specifically my son Jace, my oldest, I can remember that day dropping him off to his first day of kindergarten, and him crying, and I just felt like it's I know it's good for kids, but they're still so young at that age, and it's frightening. It's deeper than frightening. It's just empty. So I was very upset the first day I dropped my son off. I didn't feel like it was right. I feel like there's something wrong with this system. Kids shouldn't leave at that young age. It's too young. But and the crazy thing is that's the system. Well, who created that system? We're trusting, well, this is what we've always done. This is the age you go to kindergarten and you abandon your kids. But I think some kids aren't ready for that, But then if you don't put them in, then they fall behind, unless you homeschool, effectively. These kids are so vulnerable. But yeah, I remember man, it's just a lonely feeling. But yeah, kindergarten, I remember getting dropped off at kindergarten. I don't think that was quite as bad. because by that time I was already kind of used to being dropped off at random places. But that feeling was still there, you know. I had several different babysitters. So one of them I remember was an older lady. I don't even remember what her face looks like, which makes me realize I probably did block a lot of those experiences out. But I don't think there was any kind of like physical abuse, but it was definitely an abusive situation. So she had this little white house and on the corner in Porterville. I lived in Terabella, so it was like we would go into town, I would get dropped off at her house. And it's on the corner of a major intersection now. The house has been demolished. It wasn't a big house. But like, I remember she had toy bins. Like everything was all in one section of the house. So you walk in, it was like a very dark living room, you know, with I don't even remember what the furniture looked like there, but it was very dark. And then there's no separation. There was a small partition, and then it goes right into the kitchen. And then in the kitchen there was like some toy bins, you know, kinda. But everything was like very, very, very dark. Almost got hit by that bus. The kitchen was very dark, and off the kitchen there's like a door and then a bedroom with a really high single bed with like a white old school blanket on it. And she was always mad at me, and she would force me to go and lay on that bed. So when I would go over there, like I didn't get to go play. Like I didn't play with any of those toys. She would like force me to lay on that bed, and I couldn't get off the bed. And so I don't know how long I was there. I'm sure like 8 hours, you know. But I would be forced to, and I don't know how old I was. I was probably 3. That's why it's like a really vague memory. But yeah, she would force me to lay on this bed like the whole time. And I can remember her like trying to feed me like a sandwich that was like peanut butter and like some lame like apricot or peach jelly, and like me taking a bite of it, and it was like terrible, you know. And her, like, I remember how she, like, the bread was very dry wheat bread, and she cut it like at an angle, and I remember her making me eat it, and I hated it. It was crazy. I'm just trying to like remember all these little details right now, but when I think about like that was like, you know, where those feelings like came from. That place. I'm trying to remember if there was. I think that was probably the most traumatic one. I mean, obviously there's other stuff that happened that was probably worse than that, but obviously I'm not gonna share anything too crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't mean to think about this, but it does make me think like about our school system, you know. I've never thought about it before. Like, is this the right way to learn? There's got to be a better way to teach kids. We're gonna get hit by this bus again. I think it's fine, but I think starting kids at such a young age, I don't think so. I think dropping kids off in kindergarten, I think it's too soon. I think they need to be home. Kids need more time to be kids, before getting institutionalized. I definitely believe that. Because if you think about it, what a young age to get just like put into this system for that that many hours a day. And then it never ends, right? It never ends. It's always going to be that. When you get a job and you're already programmed, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go to school for this amount of hours, then you get a job and work this many hours. I mean, we don't have to do it, Obviously, we have that freedom to do something different. But then if you look at it another way, then it's like we should be very thankful that we do have this type of school system. Like there's a lot of countries where these kids wish they could go to school and learn how to read and write, but instead they're working. There's kids that are kindergarten age that are working right now on this planet. So with no food and malnourished. But I guess just ideally it would. I think it's too young. And this isn't anything I've thought of before. This just started. Just kind of thinking about it right now. Got a 55-minute ride. No rain. A few sprinkles. Alright, Rain, where are you? So I have another doctor's appointment at 3:30 today. So that's going to be interesting to have to put on rain gear and ride in the rain to a doctor's appointment. Really lost a lot of power. So I have Siri attached to my messages now, so I get all these messages while I'm riding my bike in my ear. So I get them from Gmail, I get them from my Outlook for work, I get them from Teams, I get text messages, phone calls, voicemails. The this constant feed, these constant downloads. I just published last night my trip to the doctor the other day, about finding out that information about my anomaly that they found in my spinal cord, which is kind of weird. But I published that video, and then the video of my ride home on Tuesday, which I didn't want to really publish that one because yesterday's videos were really good. My Thursday rides are good. But then I was like, it's like you either have to publish both videos of the same day or don't publish them at all. So I felt like I was obligated to publish the ride home on the Mac Fox, even though I don't think it was a very good video. So it was almost like, and then the video, going to the doctor video is probably not that great of a video. So I had like two bad videos yesterday, I feel like. Wait. But I'm just making assumptions based on like what I think people like to watch. It's always good for me, but I don't even think those videos are doing very good. Yeah, they're not doing good at all. So one has 50 and one has 41. That's all right. Not everybody has time to, like, you only have so much time, and it's like that you guys are choosing to watch these videos is, I feel very blessed that I'm getting like any views at all. So I do appreciate it. But please try hyping these videos. I want to see, and if you do hype my videos, let me know so I can see like if it makes a difference. All right, well, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.